everybody. I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and my mom is on the show today, Ingrid.
Hi.
And we're baking up a storm in here. We have dessert on the menu, and we are baking some beautiful vanilla fig balsamic pumpkin phyllo tarts.
Right.
Doesn't that sound amazing? So we're starting with some pumpkin that we had that has been roasted, and we're gonna mash it. The feature of this whole dessert is not only the phyllo, because it's so nice and crispy and crunchy, but it's this vanilla fig balsamic vinegar. Now, this is from Napa Valley Vinegar Company, and you can find them online at winecountrykitchens.com. This is so delicious. It's sweet. It comes out really syrupy, kind of like molasses, or not quite as thick as molasses, like maple syrup in between that. It's nice and dark. It has pureed figs in there, and it's got some beautiful vanilla, combined with high quality balsamic vinegar from Modena, Italy. Beautiful stuff. This is mine, the top part, but the balsamic is from Wine Country Kitchens, and you're gonna love it. So let's see how we're going to do this, and Mom is going to get us started. So Mom's gonna show us how we're gonna get started. So what do we need to do here?
I cut the pumpkin up into small pieces, which we'll put into the food processor to break it down further so that it's nice consistency for a filling.
Okay, so we're just gonna buzz this up in the processor. And how much is this? About 3 cups?
I think there are 4 cups there.
4 cups?
Yeah. And there we go.
And it was just simply roasted. I just did it with some canola oil and some, that's it, canola oil.
Right. So we didn't put salt and pepper on it or anything like that, because we were using the rest of the pumpkins for a savory dish.
Okay, so buzz it up until it's nice and smooth. Okay, so that's nice and smooth. It won't take long. Pumpkin has quite a bit of moisture in it, so it mixes up nicely. We're going to continue mixing in here because we've already got it out.
Right.
So what's next, Mom?
Next, I have 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk, which we'll add to the mixture.
Okay. And it goes. Yes. Okay. Next.
Okay. We'll use a half a teaspoon of. Actually, put in a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Okay. Cinnamon is obviously a classic spice with pumpkin, but we're also going to spice it up with some other things that you may not have thought of today.
Right. And this is about 1/4 cup of sweetened condensed milk.
Again, another traditional thing to add to pumpkin puree for pies.
I mean, you could add more if you wanted to, but I think this is going to be fine. Here we have about 1/4 teaspoon of minced ginger.
Oh, the ginger, okay. And that goes. Fresh ginger, beautiful. You need to have a little bit of ginger. Vanilla extract.
Right.
Pure vanilla extract. Please don't use artificial. How much, Mom?
About half a teaspoon.
Okay. Beautiful. So this looks like about, what, 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom?
Yes. And
it's the seeds from the cardamom pods that we've actually broken down the pods, and we've taken out little tiny brown seeds inside. And I'm just going to give them a quick grind so that we can evenly combine them in here. What a beautiful spice.
Oh, does it smell wonderful too?
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
You can just feel the aroma.
It's great in teas, it's great in coffee, it's great in desserts, it's great in savory things. We're actually making a beautiful Moroccan chickpea soup tonight with shredded duck and balsamic, and we have cardamom in there too.
Right. And so we're kind of using some of the same flavors here, the cinnamon and the cardamom.
Oh, that smells so good.
So I can smell it right over here.
And freshly ground spices are the way to go.
Yes. And brown sugar.
How much, Mommy?
That holds 1/4 cup each one.
Okay.
So I think we'll put half a cup in and see what the flavor's like.
Okay. That's a good place to go. So packed, slightly packed.
Next, we'll just whiz this up.
Okay.
Get it mixed in. Sorry.
Yeah. Couldn't be easier than that.
No.
I'm going to scrape down the sides. Hit it one more time, but we're going to add some balsamic, yes?
Yes.
Okay. How much would you like to add? About a tablespoon?
Yes. Exactly.
You're going to see how beautifully thick this is.
Gorgeous. This is going to just do wonders for this the flavor.
Make sure you check out my review on this vanilla fig balsamic because it is something else.
used that for so many things.
We've used it for baking and desserts, but also some savory dishes as well. And that's that. Taste test. Here you go.
That's beautiful, but I think we could put just a little more sugar.
Oh,
Flavor. The vanilla fig balsamic has just made the flavor of the vanilla just draws it right out of
Yes,
there.
it
Makes
does.
it pop.
what an exciting mixture. This isn't your typical
No.
pumpkin flavoring. This is something else entirely. I'm adding just a little bit more than a quarter cup. Oh, that's nice. And different.
Great. It's all you can get.
It almost tastes tangy, like that. It almost like it has apple in it, even. To me, it's really perked up the flavor. Something else.
It's really, really
Beautiful, lovely. Do you need more sugar?
I think 1/4 of a cup. You know, you're right. It almost tastes like it has apple, right? You know, you're right. It almost tastes like it has apple.
So Mom's just getting the phyllo pastry ready. This is not homemade for sure. It's a very difficult recipe to make phyllo. You purchase it at your store, at your grocer. Don't make your life difficult. And you can buy it in the freezer section. So it stays in the freezer, but you have to defrost it for a couple of hours before using it so that it comes apart. It's ever so paper thin pastry, and it's just, when it bakes, it's so crispy and flaky and delicious, right? So you're gonna use a number of layers, and you're gonna use them a couple layers at 1 or 2 layers at a time. While the rest of the package of phyllo is sitting there, it needs to be with, Mom's covering it up with a moist towel. Okay, it's just a moist, like linen tea towel. I'm going to show you this filling. That's what we have going on here. That's what it looks like. It's a little bit darker because of the balsamic, and boy, is it ever tasty. So to get your phyllo tarts ready, you need a couple of things. You're going to want a knife to be able to cut it. You're going to want melted butter with a nice pastry brush. You're going to need some granulated sugar and your filling. Also, we have our tart shells. Mom has already sprayed them, it looks like, and that's what we're using today, the larger size. Okay, so Mom is going to get started. What's going on here, Mom?
So I'm going to take and just butter the this layer.
Okay, how many pieces do you have?
I
there?
have three. Because we're doing something a little different this time. It's just not going to be free form on a cookie sheet. It's going to be in the tart thing. So I want
to
it
maintain
to hold.
its integrity. Yeah.
To hold.
So you can use, I mean, you can put butter and sugar between every layer if you want to, and many people do that, and depending upon the recipe. But today, Mom's using a couple more layers, and I can understand that for sure. So you're going to butter it.
Yes, be generous with your butter.
It makes it flaky and brown and delicious.
And it doesn't have to look perfect. If it has a few creases in it, that's fine, because I'm not going to cut this into rounds. I'm going to cut it into squares and just let them overlap each other so it'll be a little rustic looking.
Nice. I'm really impressed with the filling and how delicious that is.
Okay, so we want some sugar.
So the sugar, just regular sugar.
Just regular sugar.
Sprinkle.
Yeah.
It also makes it nice and crunchy with the, not only will the phyllo be nice and flaky and crunchy, but the little bit of sugar is going to make it crunchy too. I love it. I love phyllo, and it's so easy, and it's really an impressive way to serve desserts. Okay.
So I'm going to take another layer or two. We'll see.
Okay. Unwrap it from your moist towel. That's very important. Otherwise, it dries out, and you just won't even be able to deal with it.
2 layers there.
Ever so thin. Be gentle with it. So you're just laying that right on top, same way. And you're going to repeat what Mom just did with the butter and the sugar.
Right. And try to make some magic.
You're not going to try. You're doing it. You know, you just need a little something after dinner. Just a little something sweet to snack on.
This is so, look at this, so good.
I agree.
And the whole thing is sweet and crunchy because you've got sugar in between the layers and butter. You know, what isn't good with butter?
And you know, it's a nice contrast with the moist pumpkin filling. So you're gonna have that beautiful, creamy, almost, you know, filling with that crunchy, crispy, flaky stuff. Oh, it's just what you want.
Yep.
Okay, sugar. Phyllo is one of Mom's go-to ingredients.
And I don't feel like making pie crust, or time constraints make it impossible. I need a little bit more sugar, but we'll just, I'm going to cut these into squares.
Oh, you're doing 2 and 2? Like crossways? Gotcha. Mom's so smart. So she just cut this into 12 pieces, 4 by 3. Mom has a plan.
It's hard to use a cookie cutter with Phyllo.
But you know what you can use? You can use a pizza cutter or a ravioli cutter.
Right.
And that would work just fine as well.
And I'm just going to go back over this to make sure I got through all the layers. Happy little layers.
So this is a nice combination for a meal using the soup, and then this is the dessert, because as this soup is, you know, reducing and cooking, you can get these phyllo made quickly.
And they don't take long to bake in the oven.
No, not at all. So I need to preheat the oven to what, Mom?
400.
Now bear in mind, the pumpkin is already cooked. So.
Okay, so I'm going to put this in like that.
They're going to look rustic. They're going to be beautiful.
I'm just going to turn this one so that we,
So Mom's just doubling
nice
up.
Little pocket to put it in.
So she's doubling up, and she did one square, pushed it into the muffin tin, make sure that it's pushed into the corners, and then she kind of overlapped it like a star and did another square. That should hold the moist filling and be a nice layer that you really get to crunch on.
It's really a moist filling too, so I want to make sure that we don't lose it in there. And they're going to be gorgeous when I take them out of here.
I think so. I'm really excited. So you're going to see that they're not perfect, and that's okay. That's kind of what we want, in fact. That's going to make it so beautiful and nice and crispy and flaky still. It's going to be nice. You're going to see. So we'll finish these off. Okay, so these look beautiful. Mom has 2 trays here, so that's 2 dozen we've got going on, and she's just got them all organized. And what she's done is she took the remaining melted butter that she had and just brushed it over top of the pieces that will be outside that are kind of hanging overlapping. So,
okay,
time to scoop.
Yeah, we're going to fill them.
Fill them to probably, what, 3/4 full?
Yes, because they will puff up somewhat, and what you don't want is for them to come up over top.
Well, and it has egg in it as well, so the filling will puff up. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
So it's just a little bit more than a spoon.
Looks like maybe 1/4 cup.
Yeah.
Ish. Oh, it smells so good. So fill them all up.
Right.
Okay, so they're all filled, and Mom's just sprinkling the tops of them with some brown sugar. If you wanted to, you could drizzle the top with some more of the balsamic as well.
Or you could put any other spice you like. You know, if you are crazy about ginger, you could sprinkle some of that on. Or if you like
cinnamon.
allspice, you could do that, or cinnamon, whatever you're crazy about.
Now, again, our oven is preheated to 400 degrees. And how long will these bake for, Mom?
Well, we're going to try out about 15 minutes to start.
Okay.
And then we'll see how, you know, they should be golden, and the filling should have set somewhat. First, it'll kind of puff up and start to set.
So we should probably check them around 12 minutes. Yeah? Okay, so let me show you what these guys look like before I throw them in. And there you go, beautiful little packages, and with that beautiful spiced pumpkin filling and a little bit of brown sugar on top. Lovely. And into the oven they go. So get yourself a cooling rack ready. We put them in the oven at 400 for 5 minutes. And now we've turned down the temperature to 300, and that's gonna go for roughly another 10 or so, and we'll check it from there. So that's it. Okay. If you see that they are turning a little bit brown, too brown for your liking on the edges, just cover it with a little bit of tin foil, or aluminum foil, I should say, and roll it that way.
And the edges will get nice and deep golden brown and crackly and crunchy.
That's what you want.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Look at them.
Gorgeous.
So as these cool, the pumpkin is going to set in the middle. I'm going to show you what these guys look like. I guess I didn't do that, huh?
They're beautiful.
There you go. Look at that. All browned and crispy and flaky. Oh. So that's going to set, but we're going to leave them in here in their tart shells for at least 5 minutes before we even try and move them, okay?
Right.
Because you want them to kind of release and kind of calm down. Right now they're kind of wet, probably still a little bit, and as it cools, they're going to crisp up nicely. So we'll see you in about 5 minutes. Well, we have a small sampling of them here for you. The rest of them are over here. I didn't think we needed to show you all of them. But here's a couple, and they look beautiful. Let me show you closer. Crispy, crunchy, flaky. Oh, so good. Look at that. Oh boy, I can't wait to eat these. Look at that. Okay, Mom. Let's try them.
Okay.
Would you like a plate or no?
Yes, I like it.
Okay. Well, they are flaky.
Yes.
I'm gonna have this one. It's like a little nest. I can hear you.
So crunchy. Oh. Crunchy.
That caramelized brown sugar on top. Outstanding.
Food is so good, Kim. Oh my gosh.
Super good. And it's still nice and moist inside, but you've got that crispy, crispy little nest of phyllo. So flavorful. Who knew vanilla fig would go perfectly with pumpkin? Lovely.
Perfect.
And balsamic. Not something you would think,
But
it really woke everything up. It's
it
beautiful.
draws out all the flavors. There's the vanilla in there. The
And
ginger.
those spices, the cardamom. I could eat 10 of these, Mom. So. I'm glad we have 2 dozen. Beautiful job, Mom.
Thank you.
Great idea. I like it. Lovely.
We'll make these again.
You know what else? I think some raisins would be nice in there.
I was thinking the same thing. Or currants.
Or you could chop up dried figs.
Even Haskapa
Berries.
berries.
Mom, it's buttery, flaky.
But it's not so sickening and sweet as some of the butter tarts tend to get.
No, and it's not your Thanksgiving or Christmas pumpkin pie. It's
ginger.
different.
Oh, ginger.
It's very different. And I like that because we're kind of holidayed out at this point, you know? But you still want to eat pumpkin and use your pumpkins and your pumpkin puree that you have, right? So if you don't know how to do pumpkin puree, check out my recipe on that. It's really easy to do too. But yeah, we have lots of pumpkin left over, and I can't wait to do some more really nice things. And this would be a really beautiful pie filling.
Oh, absolutely.
Not with the phyllo, but with pastry. Really, really nice. This vanilla fig balsamic always surprises us.
I know we use it in so many things. In every recipe we use it in, it just wakes it up and makes it new.
I know. And what's even better is that you don't have to use a whole bunch of it.
No.
And it goes a long way, right? So check them out online at winecountry.kitchens.com. You'll be so happy that you checked out these balsamics. They have a whole line of them. They've got pomegranate white and a barrel aged one. They've got Trace citrus, Bordeaux cherry, blackberry ginger, the vanilla fig, and did I say Bordeaux cherry? Yeah. There's one more, and I'm missing it.
Pomegranate white.
Pomegranate white, yep. beautiful, oh, strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really tasty stuff, not just for baking and sweet things, but for savory stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely beautiful.
For glazes.
Make sure you check out our appetizer we did, our baked figs with ricotta and Napa Valley vanilla fig balsamic.
That was outstanding.
Boy, those were awesome. So this is a lovely recipe. It didn't take too long.
Oh.
You have to make sure you have the phyllo just defrosted.
Mm-hmm.
Melted butter, sugar, make your little filling. It didn't have to be pumpkin either. It could have been any filling.
Actually, you could have used squash or sweet potato.
Absolutely.
Effectively.
Great
It's
idea.
the ginger and the vanilla fig in there, the flavor. Oh man, and the cardamom.
And it's just, it's so different. And I'm just impressed that it's
exotic.
It's
to
pumpkin,
me.
yeah, but it's different kind of pumpkin.
Yeah.
It's not your normal stuff. Anyhow, that's how you do it.
Try it.
Yes, please try it. You're gonna love it. Check out Mom's website at ingridturnertoday.com because she's awesome. Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim E with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/Cooking with Kimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/Cooking with Kimberly, youtube.com/Cooking with Kimberly, and you can find us syndicated on Roku. Come to my website at cookingwithkimberly.com and subscribe, interact with us, and let us know what's going down in your culinary world, all right? Be a champion in your kitchen and eat and bake deliciously. Bye.
Bye-bye.